Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave Jones here with Storm Center Communications and Geocollaborate. It's Thursday, October 24th. We've got our eyes on the tropics and just wanted to show you a couple of interesting things. It's going to be a shorter update today. I've been looking at some other imagery from the NOAA King Air aircraft, actually, of some of the damage from Hurricane Helene in Asheville, North Carolina, and also along the Florida West Coast from Milton and Helene. I may show that in the next day or two and share with you a link so you can see some of that imagery as well. But this satellite imagery goes east. It is the mid-level atmospheric moisture channel, and you can see a lot of things going on. The first thing that might catch your eye is right down here. That's Hurricane Christie. Right now, 150 mile per hour winds. It is almost a Category 5. As a matter of fact, it's in favorable conditions. It may reach Category 5 status within the next 12 hours or so, and then it's going to encounter some cooler sea surface temperatures. But coming up here into the lower 48 United States, this is the other item that really piques our interest, and that is the ocean storm that has remnants of Oscar entrained in it, but it is definitely a mid-latitude cyclone. We can tell that because of the frontal system. Look at that frontal system stretching all the way down through Hispaniola. That is indication that we have a mid-latitude cyclone. Tropical systems are warm core in the center, and they really isolate themselves from any other weather features. Sometimes they get mixed up with them as they move into higher latitudes, or if there are stronger fronts nearby as well. But still, a lot of dry air. That is wonderful news for at least the cleanup from Hurricane Helene and all of the flooding damage that was done. But boy, it's impacting agriculture. We're having increasing drought conditions all along the southeast United States and the mid-Atlantic United States, as well as the Midwest. So that is not good for agriculture. It's really taking it on the chin throughout Georgia as well. Georgia got hit very, very hard in the agricultural sector from Hurricane Helene, those strong winds. And so we'll be taking a look at that a little bit later as well. But that's the mid-latitude water vapor. But what I want to show you here is, let's see, from the vantage point of goes east, you can see it on an angle here. There's the curvature of the Earth, and you can see the hurricane spinning. But I want to take you a little bit closer to the 1 minute imagery from goes west. So first I'll take the satellite loop full screen here, and you can see that is Christie spinning in the Pacific Ocean, 150 mile per hour winds. Let's get a little bit closer here, and here we go. Look at that. That is one mature hurricane, and I got to tell you, it was Nadine that came into Belize as a tropical storm. It then lost its tropical characteristics somewhat, got downgraded below a tropical depression, passed over southern Mexico, back out into the Pacific Ocean, became a tropical storm, Category 1, 2, and 3, and 4 very quickly. This was a rapidly intensifying hurricane, and look at it right now. This is really impressive. Take a look at the eye. This is the eye. Winds around the center here, 150 miles per hour, and likely to become 155 miles per hour over the next 6 hours. It could reach into Category 5. That's above 156 miles per hour, so it doesn't have too far to go to become a Category 5 hurricane. This is one weather system that had a lot of potential. We really saw that. Look at this, even behind it, there's still quite a bit of thunderstorm activity. It's got a very wide circulation, zooming out a little bit further than this mesoscale sector goes, but it is pretty impressive. Look at that outflow out here, these cirrus outflow clouds. These are ice crystals. And then down here in the eye of the storm, let's see how close we can get to take a look at this. Look at that. There are multiple vortexes spinning around the eye of this hurricane. That is something that is very common with major hurricanes, Category 3, 4, and 5. You can see that going on where there are multiple vortexes going on in there. As a matter of fact, Ted Fujita, when he was analyzing damage for the F scale for tornadoes before it became EF scale, enhanced Fujita, he noticed in landfalling hurricanes there were areas where there was much more damage than what a hurricane would likely bring. And he concluded that it was multiple vortexes spinning around the eye and the eye wall, which were likely very similar to tornadoes. This is very fascinating here. This is just incredible dynamics. Well, let me take a look at the East Coast, and we'll go to the East Coast here because I have a couple of interesting things to show you as well. Here is that ocean storm. This is it spinning out over in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. Some of the high cirrus clouds just clipping Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, those areas, and eastern Maine. But that's all fair weather. It's all nice along the coastline, but waves are being kicked up. So there are some wave, you got to watch out when you're going to the coastline for rip currents and things like that, because it is a big ocean storm and it will be impacting Nova Scotia. Here's Nova Scotia right here, and they're seeing an increase in clouds, and they'll be getting some rain and some storms as this system heads up into the Maritimes. But the other thing that we notice here, can you see the change in the colors here along the Appalachians? These are the leaves changing. Let me get a little bit closer here. These are the leaves changing color, and you can see that from satellite. And that is really quite amazing. As a matter of fact, lots of people are heading out to the Appalachian Mountains to view these leaves and to see it. It is just gorgeous. And in western North Carolina, this is one of the big tourist attractions in the fall, are the changing leaves. And there are some areas that are open and some areas that are closed. And I want to show you this in a map here that I pulled up. This is from felt.com. It's FELT.com. And you go to their map and you'll be able to see this as well. As a matter of fact, let me put on the legend here for what this means. You can see this. These are areas that are open and welcoming people to come and visit their beautiful towns, like Weaverville, Morganton in western North Carolina, Lenoir in Caldwell County. But there are other areas outlined in red here where they're closed to visitors. Closed to visitors. There are exceptions noted in yellow, like Little Switzerland here is open, and Bakersville, that's open in western North Carolina. But many towns are closed to tourists to come through and see the leaves. But many towns are also open, and that is good news. So if you want to see what's going on here, you can go to the website FELT.com, and then go to the map, and you'll be able to see in western North Carolina what areas are open and which ones are closed. They really do need to continue to clean up. A lot of recovery and restoration has to happen in some parts of western North Carolina. Let me widen out a little bit and show you Geocollaborate, and I'll take this legend off here so you can see what's going on. Here is the path of Nadine, and then change to Christie, and this is the path, the forecast path for Christie. Doesn't look like it's going to be impacting any land, although there will be large waves and large swells in Cabo, in the southern tip of the Baja of Mexico, Baja Peninsula. Even up towards Southern California, there'll be some larger waves generated from this hurricane, almost a Category 5 hurricane. But you can also see here in the mid-Atlantic area, there's some National Weather Service advisories in effect, and I'll zoom in here so you can see. In Maryland and Eastern Virginia, it's so dry and it is breezy. There is a heightened chance for spreading of fire. So be very cognizant of any outdoor activities. Don't burn anything because those ashes could then land on dry grass. in wooded areas and start wildfires. We don't need that. And there's a red flag warning in New Jersey. That is for very tinder-like conditions, very dry conditions in New Jersey. And also notice here on the coastline, these are small craft advisories because it is breezy, and there's also heightened wave, not really alerts, just keep your eyes out for waves and rip currents all the way from the coast of Maine. Here we are in Maine, the coast of Maine, down to the Cape Cod and eastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, also on Long Island. That ocean storm is kicking up quite a bit of wave activity. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, I had a beautiful morning visible satellite picture of Hurricane Christie. And I want to show you that. Look at this. This is just spectacular. You can see here, I'll zoom out just a little bit. You can see the sun terminator line here. That's where it's still dark, like out in Hawaii. This is from a little bit earlier today, not too about 15. So 1511 Z. So that's about 11 o'clock this morning. It's now 1 o'clock, so just a couple hours ago, of this Category 4 hurricane. And you can really see, I'll zoom in here and Geocollaborate and show you what it looks like. Look at this. You can see these gravity waves. These are gravity waves emanating out from the center of the storm. And look at that. Look at those right there. There are some gravity waves as well. Very powerful thunderstorms, updrafts coming and then sending waves out along these clouds. And then we can certainly see right into the eye of the storm, almost down to the Pacific Ocean. So that is pretty incredible. But what I also want to point out is that it looks like, I was looking at some of the night light data, and I'm going to turn this visible image off and turn on the night lights. And so here's the imagery at night, and you can see all of the night lights here in Mexico, southern Mexico. There's Cancun, all those areas, Isla Mujeres, there to the east of Cancun. But look, this is Cuba, and it looks like finally Cuba is returning with lights, that power is being restored to the island nation of Cuba. So that is great news for those folks. I mean, not only was power out a big hardship, there is Havana right here, a big hardship, but they also could not pump fresh water with no electricity. So it was a very dire situation. And here is Jamaica down here. So we can see these night lights, which is really terrific. And of course, there is Florida. Here's Miami. Here's Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Orlando, Florida here, Jacksonville, Florida here. So we can monitor these night lights every night because of these polar orbiting satellites orbiting the Earth. And they have what's called a day-night band. And we can see the difference there with what's going on with the lights. So that's it, just for a quick update. It was more than a tropical update, but something I thought you might be interested in. Looks like a lot of clear skies and dry weather again in the mid-Atlantic, which is certainly not welcome for agriculture, but certainly beautiful days to go out and see the leaves that are changing. And you can see those. This is from 22,000 miles, 22,300 miles up in space. Just amazing that we can see the changing leaves with the satellite resolution. So that's it. I'll be back tomorrow, give you a quick little update on the tropics. We are still watching the model development way out, 7 to 10 days out, trying to develop something in the Caribbean. I did just want to give everybody the message. If you see anybody on social media sharing these way out forecasts of one time zone that's 200, 250, 300 hours out into the future, showing a hurricane making landfall anywhere, don't believe it. They're just doing it to get clicks, to get attention. It is something that the models tend to do at times way out in the future, is to develop a storm that never comes to fruition. That's why, as meteorologists, we look in those areas and keep monitoring the tropical activity, if anything's going to be developing or not. The models say maybe. We look at it, and as that time draws closer, nothing seems to happen. So we are not going to be advertising any type of tropical development out in the November timeframe. We are keeping an eye on the tropics. It's still hurricane season. We're ending hurricane season at the end of November. So we're getting closer, but we still have a ways to go, and we will be monitoring all the tropical activity. So that's it. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and Geocollaborate. Thanks for watching this update here on the channel, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks so much. Please take care of yourself and take care of your neighbors.